Hello, and welcome to another episode of HD in Real Life. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the 4323 channel, sometimes called the channel of the genius and the freak. I personally don't have these energies, but they are quite close to me. My husband has the energies, and so I've been observing them, asking him questions about it. And honestly, the reason why I'm bringing this topic up in this video is because for the past 2 weeks, almost all my clients have had this activation and it's just been popping up everywhere, also as a theme. And I kind of felt that I was being nudged by the universe to express to you why these energies are so important in the world today. And that if we learn to align with these energies, especially if you have these energies, if you learn to align with these energies, of course it will feel great for you. Of course you will feel less frustrated and more ease, less bitterness, and more success. But honestly, it's about this collective growth. And if you learn how to use these energies correctly, you will be helping all of us out by helping us transition into a new way of seeing things, by helping us make necessary changes in the world. As we are seeing with everything that's going on, we definitely need people that are propelling us forward into new ways of viewing and doing things. And if you have these energies, then you're someone who is here for that. So I'm just going to tell you a few things that I've been observing about this energy, and then just some personal, from me to you tips of what I would do in more of a practical way in my life if I had these energies. So, first of all, people with this activation tend to have trauma related to communicating as they've been growing up and struggled to communicate and had this pressure to share their insights and their ideas with people around them, but have been rejected in many ways. The things they say don't land well. It's often that they feel that what they have to say is really important, really helpful. They feel like, it's super like their job to share it, but then when they do, people don't take it well, they don't take it positively, and they might even react in a way that makes you feel guilty. And so, what I've found in clients and people with this channel is that you've usually kind of developed this aversion to communicating, especially when it comes to communicating your own views of the world. So, it's super important that we realize that this happens because there's a way that these energies are supposed to work, and also because there is a purpose to the energies. The energies are very individual, they're very about being different and expressing things that are different and kind of avant garde. Like they're things that most people are not going to be ready for, that you're receiving as insight and then able to transmit through your voice when you're communicating. But the thing with mutation and the thing with evolution, like human design has all of these like words that sound confusing, like a mutative channel or whatever. All that means is that the goal of these energies in the planet is that people will feel different. They will speak out about what's not working and about how we need to change, and that little by little, if those views, if that communication is solid and it's done in a timely manner and it's communicated it with high vibration, then little by little that new view will start gaining acceptance by the right people. Some people will kind of launch it and be the carriers of that new energy, and then eventually it will turn into the new normal. So there's like this process, and in every evolution of the human species, there's also resistance, and that resistance is very impossible. It's very important, so that we don't fall into just evolving in any way that comes to mind, so that the evolution actually serves us and that we evolve in the important things. So, that being said, it's important if you have this energy to realize that you have these gems inside of you. I encourage you to look at them as gems, as these precious things that you're here to actually share with the world. And it's not only that you're here to share them, is that they will actually end up changing the way we look at the world and the way we do things. But you don't just share these gems with anyone. You have to find out how these gems are supposed to be transmitted, and it's by following your strategy and your authority and your inner guidance that you can start understanding which are the correct moments, which are the correct people, what is the correct environment for your gems to be shared. And there's going to be a feeling that you're going to get from sharing in the correct spaces where you're going to be recognized, where the information is going to be taken in a very different, collaborative, safe way, and you're going to know that that's the feeling that you're looking for when you're sharing. So there's this necessary reconnection to sharing that you must do if you've gone through and have relate to this trauma of communication where you're like, okay, this type of communication hasn't worked in the past. It's not about giving up on communicating altogether. It's about changing the way we're communicating and understanding that because these ideas are new and different, that we're going to need to shift the way we deal with the energies and treat them as more precious, not just give them away to everyone. In terms of my advice, my practical advice from me to you is first of all to don't shy away from communicating. I hope that you don't feel like you just want to give up on sharing who you are and your ideas and your ways of looking at the world, because honestly, as I said before, it's like we need you to be constantly breaking these old paradigms and just like shaking us up a little bit so that we can consider these new ways of doing things. But don't expect it to just like completely happen from one day to another. And see it as a journey, see yourself as a messenger of new ideas that just needs to learn how to really harness this like time, this correct timing and this divine timing to communicate your gifts. Secondly, work on finding the right people and the right environment. It's very probable that if you just keep getting met with this resistance when you communicate, that if you just keep, finding that the energy when you give it away slaps you in the face, it's probably because you're not in the right place and you're not sharing with the correct group of people. So just maybe open up your horizons, use your strategy and authority again to find that correct place when you can feel more recognized and when your ideas will land and be useful to people. Trust me, there is that place for you. And then lastly, and this is I find super interesting and super useful for people with this energy, is play with your tone of voice and understand that your voice, the actual sound of it and the vibration of it, is super influential in how the message comes across and what you get to share with the world. So if you can work with that tone of voice and shift the intention behind it and work so that in that sound, in that melody, you can also transmit love and acceptance and a sense of, yes, I'm communicating something that's different and something that might shake your world up and get you out of your comfort zone. But yes, I'm also seeing you as a person and seeing that you've already done so much work and acknowledging that you might feel differently and that that's okay, that I'm just communicating my truth. If you can somehow put that into the sound, and you can do that by shifting your intentions and, feeling unconditional love when you communicate, changing your reasons to communicate from being right to serving other people through your insights, then that shift in vibration that you might not even be able to perceive like through the naked ear in this case, is actually enough to shift the energy and make something receivable by another person. And it might be a really amazing, good way to explore communicating from a place from your heart, even though it's things coming from your mind, even though it's a channel that is, from the ajna to the throat, that in the end, you can carry this frequency from the heart of unconditional love and acceptance as you're communicating, so that you can always be serving the greater good and the purpose of elevating us all through this process of evolution. Those are the tips that I had for you guys. Again, I want to say I don't have this energy. I love saying that because I feel like it's important that us HD people talk about that, the fact that it's an experiment and that It's not like we have it all figured out, and it's not like you can just read the textbook and understand people. So, that being said, I'd love it if you do have this energy, if you comment below what it feels like for you, what resonated and what didn't. And as always, if you want to go deeper into your design, if you have any questions, I'm going to leave my info below for sessions or any other kind of work and learning with me. So, until next time, take